Hey Danny, how you doing, man?
Hello, Lewis. How are you?
I know. I'm well, thank you. Yeah, I'm sat in the office recording a Void with Danny for the last time ever. Until the heat death of the universe, we'll never record another podcast. A million years will transpire, and we will never speak to one another ever again. As soon as we end this call, I'm going to block him on every possible social media. I'm going to delete his number. It's like a really horrific breakup. If I see him in a supermarket, I'll be like, "Oh my god, it's Danny," and then I'll run the other way down the frozen chicken aisle.
Oh, that's disappointing. I was hoping that you would clothesline me as you.
No, what I'd do is I'd pick up like a whole frozen chicken, and then I'd throw it like a rugby ball directly at your skull, and it would pass straight through your head. Because I'm just that strong that it would just immediately decapitate you. The force of a frozen chicken being thrown as hard as possible at you. I think that's how that works, isn't it?
Or you could do what Gus did and turn on all the air fryers and turn on the gas. And then let a chicken slide in, and then the entire supermarket blows up.
Yeah, I could. All the air fryers that they have on stock in Tesco. Which, actually, now that I think about it, there is like a little appliances aisle at my local big Tesco.
Yeah.
So next time you're at my local big Tesco, I'll arrange your death.
Quite right, quite right. That's the only way.
I'll put on a suit and shave my head and put on a red tie and put it... What is it? Has he got a barcode on the back of his neck?
Yeah,
Hitman?
something like that. Agent.
I tried to play those games and I just did not enjoy them. I tried to play one of them and I got it for like 40p second hand at like Game or something. And I put it in the Xbox, tried to play the first mission where it was just secretly go through this crowd of people, stab this guy, and mission complete. And I was sort of weaving through the crowd of people, and there was like security guards and stuff, and I was like, "Ooh, I'll stay away from the security guards. I'll be really sneaky." And then, without fail, a security guard would see me and be like, "Bloody hell, it's a bald man in a suit," and then track me down through the crowd. And I'm like, "What the fuck is going on? I'm just some guy at this point, right?" But no, apparently, bald men in suits are dangerous lunatics, no matter where you're from.
Absolutely. My uncle. Jim is one of those people. Yeah. I don't.
Is that a hitman or a lunatic?
I don't even have an Uncle Jim, Lewis. So chew on that.
Theoretical Jim.
Theoretical Jim. The best.
Theoretical Jim.
Yeah, the best kind of gyms are theoretical.
True, yeah. The theoretical gym where you say to everyone in your house, "Good morning, I'm going out to the gym this morning," and then you just stand outside your front door for an hour and a half, and then come back in sweaty, and you go, "Oh, good workout. I've pumped some iron, and I've run 5k this morning, alone, in an hour and a half. Man. I've done all that work, and now I'm back, guys."
Just thinking about the work was enough for the physical process to take place.
Apparently so, yeah. Because we're having some work done in the garden at the minute, so I could just watch a guy that's come over to do some work in the garden and just be like, "Yeah, he's moving slabs around and putting render on walls and stuff. Oh, I'm tired now." Oh, I can feel that strength and strain in my shoulders and my arms from picking up concrete slabs and sacks of powder and
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Lewis, I thought because it is the last episode with my gorgeous face in it, I thought we could stick to the format of the credit thing.
Yes.
And then do an opening statement and then just get right into what we're going to be talking about.
Okay, sounds good.
This week we're talking about the ultimate bullshit number 3, and I've yet to think of a fucking name because...
Well, number 2 was Electric Boogaloo, because it rhymes, so surely it would be Electric Boogaloo.
See, that's rehashing old territory, you need to think of something... let me think. The ultimate bullshit number 3...
My cat's having a fight with the sofa.
Oh, see if you said, "My cat's having a fight with a cup of tea," that would have been...
Oh. Yeah. Oh, my cat's having a fight with a settee.
Yes, there you go. That works. That's what it's called. Now, can you send me how to spell the word settee, please? And then we'll be good to go.
S-E-T-E-E.
Not gonna remember that, Lewis. I'm not gonna remember that.
Settee?
That's a lost cause.
SETTEE. Jesus Christ. It's also a Spanish verb. Nobody can seem to agree on how to spell settee, so just spell it how your heart thinks it's spelled. And then
I'll spell penguin, and I'll be like city. So.
Electric Penguin.
Exactly.
That'd be a good name for a band.
Be Electric Penguin.
Yeah. What do you play? Oh, the Electric Penguin. What? Yeah, we just got a penguin and covered him in starch, so he's stiff as a board. And then we ran some guitar strings around him and ran a current through him, so that then he can be played like an electric guitar. That's how it works, right?
And it was written by Lewis and Danny, and is starring Lewis, Danny, Chloe, Darius, Peter, Aditya, Natalie, and Doogie. Big cast, and it's the only time.
Big cast, a huge cast for this. It's an ensemble comedy.
It's the only time that I've got everyone's names right. So way to go off with a bang.
Well.
That's what I say.
Go off with a bang, and by which you mean go off with good pronunciation.
Yeah, or like T.S. Eliot with a whimper.
T.S. Eliot. Yeah, T.S. Eliot, I found this out, is massive twat. Are you aware of this?
I mean, it doesn't surprise anyone born before me is a massive twat, and people born after me are massive twats as well. So
anyone that's not you.
I never said I wasn't a twat, Lewis.
Oh, everyone in the world is a massive twat.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. But yeah, even by the standards of the time, he was a massive fascist. It was really weird. But anyway.
Oh my God.
Aside from fascism, what have we got to talk about today, Dan? Is there anything dramatic?
Well, we're talking about bullshit, Lewis.
We are indeed. I've got some notes. You've got some notes. Who's going first?
Why is there so much fucking TV this year?
Well, what do you mean? Why is there so much TV this year? There's always been TV 24/7. That's the whole point, right?
The content just seems to be picking up, like to the point where it's like there's just low. There's what's coming out this year? There's Kenobi. There's
There's the Book of Boba Fett, which I haven't seen. Have you seen any of that?
I haven't, but maybe I will.
Yeah,
exactly. Better Call Saul season 6 is coming out. The Boys season 3 is coming out.
I hope another Nazi gets kicked
that'd
to
be
death.
fun.
That'd be good.
Because I hope that fucker doesn't survive. I hope that she's been blasted back to my ashtray. That's what.
I'm not sure if I get that.
Yeah, because she was blown to bits and she's like all burnt. Remember with the wee boy with the lasers. And
yes, it was Homelander's son with the laser eyes.
Yeah, and she was apparently blasted that much that she just started speaking German again. Like she was teleported back to the 1940s.
That's what happens to us all. You get hit by a laser, you start speaking German.
That's sad.
I've got a laser pointer. It's a vicious cycle because I can laser point someone, and then all they can do for the next day or two before they sort of get their senses back is speak German, and it's just a concerning thing, really.
God, that is hell.
It is, yeah. Whenever I order a pizza or anything, I open the door and I just laser point someone, and then they're just like speaking German at me furiously, or not furiously. I don't actually know any German, so they might be angry. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? The Crown, season 5.
Yes, there's another. That should be good. I'm looking forward to that. Have you seen the set photos of Elizabeth Debicki, who looks just terrifyingly like Diana in the photos?
I have indeed.
Because there's loads of Diana media has come out recently. Loads. There was obviously there was what's her face? Emma Corrin.
Oh yeah, Emma Corrin is
Emma Corrin in The Crown, who was absolutely brilliant. Looked like Diana, had the Diana clothes, was brilliant. Then there was the critically acclaimed masterpiece, Diana the Musical, Danny's favourite film of all time.
Oscar winning.
The thing is, right, I don't know if we've actually talked about this on the podcast. We must have done, but it's on Netflix. It's a musical about the life and times of Princess Diana, and it's one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. And I've probably seen it about 10 times. Like, it's hypnotic when you start watching it. All the rhyming is atrocious. Yep. The acting is not great. The songs are bad. It's all pretty bad. But the songs are just boppy enough to get you through it. So then you finish it and you go, oh, that was okay, and then you think about it and you go, no, it was terrible, but I do want to watch it again for some reason.
Folks, if you're looking for a good time, get with a bunch of your mates, and if you're over the age of 18, have some alcoholic drinks, and you will have a fantastic time watching that film.
Yeah, get smashed and watch Diana the Musical, and it's like a fever dream. It's really
it's like
weird.
The Room.
And then there was Spencer. It is like The Room, yes.
Watching The Room's fun.
And then there was watching The Room is fun. This is true. There was Spencer, which is perhaps another film to get smashed and watch with your mates, because that was just an insane fever dream as well.
I was so melancholy after that film, and like it was just. Yeah, we get it. They're horrible people, but you don't need to stretch it out over one dinner. It's like, oh my god, that is literally it. You don't see the accident. You don't see anything else. It's one Christmas, and it's her going about dressed as Anne Boleyn the entire film, and swallowing pearls, and then eventually saying,
and having it out with Timothy Spall in the gardens, and he's like, you need to get into the house. Fuck off, Timothy Spall.
Do you know what it reminds me of, right? And this is going to be a weird comparison. It reminds me of Passion of the Christ.
The Mel Gibson film.
In the sense...
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, well, essentially, it's the central character getting tortured for 2 hours. And that's what it feels like. It is so boring. It's so sadistic. And it just makes you want to turn it off. Because that's... I wasn't, oh my god, this opens some new light and has some new... It's like, yep, the royal family's bad.
I didn't even really find it engaging. No. It was just saddening, really. But the point I'm trying to make, anyway, is that we've had all these bizarre Diana things, so The Crown with Elizabeth Debicki in it should be predictably good. Elizabeth Debicki is a skilled performer. She was good in The Night Manager. She was good in a very brief role in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 or whatever it was. She's been good in a number of things before. I'm sure she'll be good in this. The Crown is good. The only thing they misstepped with is casting someone attractive as Prince Charles.
Yeah, Dominic
never
West.
In his life has that man... Dominic West, yeah. Never in his life has Prince Charles been attractive. And yet, they've cast Dominic West, who's an undeniably handsome man. So it's just strange and it's like a strange cognitive dissonance you get from looking at him and thinking, Prince Charles? No,
Poor Jack O'Connell. Lewis doesn't think you're handsome.
No, that's the point I'm making as well. He's too handsome to play Prince Charles. Every depiction of Prince Charles I've ever seen has been someone too attractive to play Prince Charles. Him and in Spencer, that bloke, he was just a fairly handsome guy. I don't know the actor. I presume he's done other things, but he was just a fairly handsome random guy that had dark hair and was white, and he spoke a bit like Prince Charles. In Spencer, that man is gorgeous, the one they've got playing Prince Charles. So who's making these casting decisions? Who's doing this?
You know that Prince Charles is an actor, so I think he's raging that he's never been able to play himself. I don't think he'd be able to play himself convincingly.
True. No, he wouldn't. He'd just be really melancholy, and he'd want you to root for him. But then he'd playing himself and all the things he's done. You'd just be like, oh, you cunt. And you wouldn't be able to get past that watching him on stage.
Absolutely. Well, that's. I think that's all I've got for this bullshit thing. Do you have anything, Lewis?
I do. I'd like to quickly talk about the chronic pain in my back.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because for a while now, Chloe and I moved into this house that you can see in my camera, which is all lovely. We moved into this house, and this room was a bedroom, which had a bed in it, which weirdly they left, and I thought, I don't really want to sleep on a used mattress if I can avoid it. So, long story short, we got rid of that bed. But this room, we put a desk in, this desk here, and I put a desk in here, so now it's like an office for both Chloe and I. And we have a number of chairs and all sorts. I had a chair when we first moved in, which I've had for yonks and yonks and yonks. I had it at my parents' house, then it went to my dad's house, and then it came here. And the chair was beyond any kind of repair, now that I've sort of finally got rid of it. Beyond any kind of reasonable repair. So I was sort of glad to see the back of it. And instead, I got this chair, which has got a cardigan over it. It's grey and white. It's from Argos. It was fine. And when I first got it, I thought, great, This is wonderful. I'll be able to sit down and not have horrendous pain throughout my entire skeleton after I sit there for more than 30 seconds. So I built the chair according to the instructions, sat on it, and I thought, oh, that's a bit weird. The little sort of pull yourself up and down lever is on the wrong side for this chair. And the chair, it sort of tips forwards a bit when you try and stand up. And I thought, okay, well, there's no rule about the up and down lever. That can go wherever. And the chair tipping forwards could just be like an ergonomic thing to help you stand up, maybe. And I sat with the chair like this for about a year. And essentially... over that time, I've had like back pain and tailbone pain and all sorts from sitting at my desk all day and ghostwriting books is the day job. And I just thought, well, it's just being sat at a desk, hunched over a keyboard all day, every day. And then the other day, I noticed there's like a knob on the bottom of my chair, like a spinning dial. And I thought, oh, okay, what does that do? And I tried turning it all the way one way, and I didn't notice anything different. And I turned it all the way other way, and I didn't notice anything different. So I Googled the chair, and I said, what does this knob do? And I realised the chair I'm sitting on has been built wrong for the entire time that I have been sitting on it. I bought this chair in the 23rd of December, 2020, and then I assembled it wrong, and up until yesterday, I have been sitting on it wrong. So that's certainly something. Now I'm sitting on it correctly, and it's brilliant. It's really comfortable now. It's like... incredibly comfortable, and it leans back a bit.
Oh, I mean, I can't imagine how many times that you've complained about that fucking chair, and all the while...
so many times.
You've done it on this show as well. I've heard it's like,
yes, I have.
This chair is shit. And then it's like a year later, oh, there's a knob. Okay. there's two knobs.
He's made a funny joke there, everyone. But no, yeah, this is my new and improved chair that I disassembled and reassembled a bit last night, and then I sat down and went, oh, for fuck's sake, this is so much more comfortable than it ever has been. Because to be honest with you, I was kind of annoyed because I spent about £100 on the chair, and I was like, it's really uncomfortable. So I was just pissed off, and then now it feels like a chair that I've spent some money on. I'm quite happy with it now.
That's good.
It is good, and I predict my chronic back pain will be slowly dissipating over the coming months, or I certainly hope, anyway, or else I'll have to go to some kind of chiropractor and just say, look, can you just, like, jump up and down on my spine until it's all connected the right way,
Can you
please?
medievally stretch me, please?
Yes, can you put me on one of those stretching boards, please, so that all of my vertebrae are just snapped back into a column? That'd be great. Can we do that, please, mate? And just look at me and go... no, we're going to have an intensive course of physical therapy, Lewis, you psychopath. I can't just put you on like some kind of a stretching machine. You've got to do like exercises with this roll of foam, obviously.
Do you know what I was thinking about yesterday? I was thinking about the famous nursery rhyme, Old Farmer Giles.
Yes, the famous nursery rhyme.
And then,
I love a bit of Old Farmer Giles.
And I was thinking about some of the animals that could that could also be on the farm with them. Okay, yeah. And then I thought about that famous animal, the platinum seahorse. Yep. Yes. Yep. Yeah. And then I thought, oh my god, I've just created an amazing story in my head. So for those that don't know, platinum seahorses and seahorses in general can change their sex, and Farmer Giles has been having an affair with one of these platinum seahorses, and
good lord, the scandal.
But also not just an affair on his wife, but with another platinum seahorse that is actually the same seahorse, because every time they meet, they change, sex. So
the absolute terror I'm feeling now, knowing that there's another verse of Old Farmer Giles just being uncovered from the ancient texts, that you've dug them up from your back garden. You've got like a little toothbrush that you're just sweeping the dust and the earth off of. It's like, my god, Farmer Giles, he's having an affair. Oh my god, seahorse. With a platinum seahorse.
I mean, everyone knows that.
Such a terrible shame.
Everyone knows the rhyme, don't they? Everyone. That's it.
Yeah. The classic famous rhyme that we all know and have always known. Yeah.
How's it go again? I can't.
It goes, Old Farmer Giles had lots and lots of animals, but none were so regal as the snow hen. Yep. And Mrs. Farmer Giles also loved the animals, but what she really liked were farmer men.
Absolutely.
and then there's a second verse involving a coattamundi, and it rhymes with Sunday.
So it does.
I think, which is a bit of a weird one. Something coattamundi from Saturday through to Sunday. I can't quite remember. Yeah, it's something like that. Anyway, so what we need now is another verse with a platinum seahorse in it.
I completely forgot about the coattamundi fucking verse. It was so strange.
It was. I don't know if I've ever actually divulged the true story of Old Farmer Giles. Shall we?
Okay, go on then.
Yeah, okay, so Old Farmer Giles, we were filming for 4 O'Clock Club, and Simon Lowe, who plays Mr. Bell, we had all these sort of like animal costumes on, and we had these sort of wrapped around your chin and mounted on your head like a helmet, and the helmet bit had like an animal. That was the idea. And I think I was a rabbit or something, and Danny was a fox, or I forget what it was, but lots of us were different animals basically. And Simon, out of nowhere, just looked around us, and he sort of started gesturing at the animals and said, "That doesn't look like a fox. That looks like a coattamundi." And we said, "That doesn't exist, Simon. I've never heard of a coattamundi before in my life." And then it turned out that the animal did exist when we Googled it. And essentially, he just started building this mythos around these animals and how they're all interconnected through a farmer. And the next time that we were in the school, and I think there were lots of like extras around, we had to wait for something. And Simon, he said, "Lewis, you remember the old nursery rhyme, Old Farmer Giles, don't you?" And I went, "No." And he said, "Yeah, that one we were talking about in the woods." And he started mentioning the snow hen and the coattamundi. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I think I do, Simon." And he made this up. Old Farmer Giles has lots of animals.
None were so
and he sort of went,
as the snow hen. Mrs. Farmer Giles, who also loves the animals, but what she really liked were farmer men.
That was it, yeah. And he started saying to these supporting artists and these kids, "You know this, don't you? They taught you this in school." And because he was like an authority figure, they just went, "Yeah, yeah." Pretending that they did know it. And after a while, he got quite a few people actually joining in with the song. And we were in this hallway or something, and there was about 20 people all singing this nursery rhyme. And it's the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. This thing that he made up on the spot and just convinced all of these people that they knew.
Oh man,
it was the weirdest thing, but it's stuck with me for years and years. That has, because it's so stupid.
I mean, Simon had a song for every occasion. What was his cover of "Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic"?
Oh, geez.
Every little thing she does is magic. She can pull a pork pie out her arse. Out of her brassiere she pulls a rabbit, and then she pisses wine into your glass.
He was Simon. I say he was as though he's dead. Simon is a fantastically funny man. Simon is, and he has this incredible creativity and spontaneity that he can just come up with these things off the cuff as though it's no effort at all for him to think of these things. It's absolutely terrifying watching him do it, because you were very aware of the fact that he could just make something up and you'd believe it. You just lap it up.
Coattamundi. Holy shit.
A coattamundi. I don't even know what a coattamundi. Does a coattamundi exist?
I thought it did. I thought we googled it.
Coattamundi. Oh, coattamundi. Here we go. Oh, they're quite cute. They're kind of like a fox raccoon thing. Native to South America, Central America, Mexico, and the southwestern US. Comes from the Tupian languages of Brazil, where it means lone coati.
This is the...
Yeah, it's a coattamundi.
It's the animal that stole from Gus's lucuma tree. Coati.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Well, there you go.
Cool. There we go. We now know the origin of the Old Farmer Giles mythos that's followed me around in my dreams for decades.
Do you have anything else, Lewis?
I do have. I have a number of things. Right. I've got a very obscure question for you, Danny. What are your thoughts on the concept of a motorhome? If someone gifted you a motorhome, would you want it? Would you sell it? Would you travel in it? Would you just live where you currently live, but in that?
I mean, can you explain what a motorhome is?
A motorhome being like, a big long truck, basically, with a bed in the back. Yeah, like a camper van, but massive. Yep. Like the US version of a camper van, where it's like the size of like an Eddie Stopart lorry.
Yeah.
and it's just all house throughout it. Because I fell down a bit of a rabbit hole on YouTube yesterday, where I was watching just a couple of random bits of crap, and then it came up, we toured the most expensive motorhome ever. And I thought,
wow,
what? How nice can it possibly be? And there was this bloke, he was quite charming, he went round it, and he was like, yeah, and this is all this finished like a yacht, and all the rest of it. And I was like, yeah, it is finished. It does look a bit like a yacht.
Oh my God.
And it was just fairly nice. And I thought, this is really insane. But then I started thinking, if I had a motorhome, or even if I did the whole van life thing, like just buy a Transit and chuck a mattress in the back, or something nicer than that, I would probably do that. I'd drive down south, go into Europe. Well, I have to get a visa now. But yeah, Brexit. But yeah, I'd have to do all that nonsense. But yeah, I would quite enjoy it. I think I can't drive, but aside from that, I would quite enjoy it.
I can't use it at all, but apart from that, that wouldn't stop me.
Yeah, I would just have to hope that everything from my house to France is downhill, so that I could just like coast all the way there. Neither can most campervan folks drive. Well, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we know.
Darius has joined. Hello, Darius.
Darius
Dougie's
and
in here as well. So thank you for joining us. Oh,
Dougie has to go soon. It's because we're just too funny. He's worried about his sides splitting and him spontaneously dying. All of his organs would fall out. He would die very quickly.
I have a question for you, Lewis.
Hit me.
Do you like bees?
I do like bees, yeah. I actually want a beehive in my garden, in theory. Although in reality I'd get stung all the time, so it wouldn't be brilliant. In theory, I would like a beehive in my garden. In practice, I don't think it's a good idea. But like, I have like a greenhouse, and I'm going to grow food and stuff. I would also like to grow honey. God. Produce
you're
honey.
You're gonna be like an actual character in Wallace and Gromit, like, and you're gonna like create the biggest fruits and veg and all that, and you're gonna enter them in the Stoke Fair that you're gonna need to get on the
the Stoke Vegetable Fair.
Exactly.
World famous, the Stoke Veg Fair.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would like like bees in my garden, but I don't. As I say, I would get stung all the time. I'd have to get a bee suit for if I ever wanted to go out in the garden.
No, I mean your neighbour would snipe them from their bedroom window with a.
Yes, my neighbour that is a very strange person would like have a little. What's that thing where you'd have like a straw and a bit of paper and you'd like
exactly
do that to snipe my bees out of the air. That's something I quite like about the bees, is the idea that if they don't want to make honey, they'll just fuck off. It's like a beekeeper could realistically expect to go outside to their hives one day and the bees are just gone. Oh, well, I guess they've gone and lived in the forest or something. Oh, okay. That's annoying.
No, that's ideal.
I think it's one of those things where like people talk about how honey isn't vegan because it's produced by an animal, but the bee can and does stop if it wants. So I don't know. Is it the bee volunteers the honey? You're not like the process of milking a dairy cow or something. You are actively taking the milk from the cow when it would be used to feed a calf. But like the bee just makes the honey and offers it to the world, and they make too much honey, really. So are you kind of? Is it not? I would argue it's kind of vegan. I don't know.
I mean,
I eat honey at the very least. So.
I mean, I'm probably the wrong person to discuss this with because I'm a dirty exploiter, Lewis. So.
Oh, you dirty exploiter! Eating all that meat.
I know. Just tastes nice. I can't help it. You know.
I've been eating loads of like plant-based meat recently. Because I've started going to supermarkets again for the first time in about a million years. But yeah, and I was just like, oh shit, suddenly plant-based meat alternatives are really, really good. There's a horror film from New Zealand where the sheep take their revenge against the people of New Zealand.
Yes.
Yeah, well, they're just, do they have weapons? Or do they just trample everyone? More sheep than humans. Yes, I know in Wales, sheep outnumber people 2 to 1.
Oh my God.
Could you fight off 2 sheep?
What?
Danny, do you think you could fight off 2 sheep?
Oh, that's a tough question. Depends on the size of the sheep.
It depends whether I'm armed, the size of the sheep, how strong the sheep are.
See, now that I'm thinking about it, I could definitely kill 2 fucking sheep. Yeah,
think?
I would like because they're slow wee bastards. You know, they're just
Right,
they can
okay.
barely fucking see. They've got huge amounts of fur that are weighing them down. I'll end up getting on one and taming it, and that'll be my steed through the sheep apocalypse.
The sheepocalypse.
The bapocalypse.
That's another thing about veganism and wool. You actually have to shear a sheep, because if you do not shear a sheep, they can't just shed the wool. It will just grow and grow and grow, and they become a little walking boulder of wool, and that gets like infected and all sorts. So, is wool vegan? Kind of. I don't know. Maybe it's a bit of a stupid idea, but I'm not sure if I could kill 2 sheep. Though famously, there is that thing about how sheep explode if they lie on their back for too long.
What?
Are you aware of this? Are you not aware of this?
That does not happen.
It
They
does.
lie on.
Chloe's told me.
Chloe's told. Okay, so yeah, okay. Sorry, I am so.
Thing is, Chloe told me, and I said, no, that sounds like bollocks. That can't possibly be true. And then I googled it, and it is true. If a sheep falls over onto its back, it can't get onto its front. And because of the nature of a sheep's digestive system, there's something about the build-up of gases and stuff, where a sheep will eventually just explode if it just stays perfectly still.
Wow.
In theory, it would happen to a standing-up sheep, but but they would be able to just go and eat some grass. But no, it's the sheep being on its back because they can't get back up. Yeah.
Oh my god.
A sheep will explode if you just leave it alone for long enough, which is horrifying.
I mean, that might solve like all the bomb crises from now on. Like if we're running out of bombs and we're needing weapons, just send in sheep.
Put a sheep in, and tape an anvil to its back, and throw it out of a plane so it lands.
I mean, I
on
think
its back.
that would kill it anyway.
True,
yeah,
true. And they'd be like, "Is it going to explode yet?" No, it's a
no!
paste.
How are we gonna solve that? Okay, I've got it. Tape a fucking anvil to its back and just fucking toss it, and then it won't be able to move. Yeah, because its head's been caved in. You fucking. Oh man.
Well, in that case, tape a piece of buttered toast to its back so that it'll land buttered side down, and the sheep will be on its back.
Yeah, is this
obviously we figured this out
is
straight
this
away.
Sheep get a parachute, or are we just fucking launching it for a plane?
I suppose it would have to have a parachute.
Yeah, okay.
Though I imagine it'd be one of those really shit parachutes, because you can't trust a sheep to pull a parachute. So it'd be one of those really shit parachutes that you had on those little plastic men soldiers when you were a kid. And I would like throw it off the top of the stairs and watch as it plummets to the carpet.
You could find sheep with no legs. You could find physically.
I suppose you could. I suppose you could just get a sheep and cut its legs off, but that's a bit morbid.
Well, I mean, we're using them as bombs, so I think we can go that wee extra step further.
That's true. Yeah.
Is it any movement? Does it have to be completely still?
I don't know. I think it's. I know it's a problem with the digestive tract.
Right.
Let me Google it.
Yeah, and how big is the blast radius?
Sheep explode when they die.
Secret nuclear bomb.
Do sheep carcasses explode? It isn't that they really explode as much as they rupture. This is from the buildup of gases produced by decomposition, which does happen to humans if they are not embalmed properly. There was Henry the something or other. Oh. It might have even been Henry VIII, I'm not entirely sure. He was laid to rest in an abbey for a bit before he was embalmed, and the sort of build-up of gases in his gut meant that he exploded. Are you aware of this? Yeah, this was on Horrible Histories, so I'm 100% sure it's true. Not in Scotland.
What isn't?
I suppose not. Henry VIII isn't in Scotland? Oh. We had our own kings. Yeah, up until James the First or Second, depending on who you ask. Yeah. Actually, that's a really good James.
Yeah, when Scotland invest.
William the Conqueror, Darius says.
When Scotland invested all its money into the Americas and lost it all, and then was like, "Oh, can we join you guys?" Dougie's gonna correct me. Here we go.
Here we go. Come on, Dougie. No, he's not.
That's a silly. I know. I'm not gonna.
Oh, so you were technically right,
I'm not gonna
Danny.
get my fucking textbook out.
There was a conspiracy. A conspiracy like.
There's been a murder.
There's been. It's lots of Scottish people stood around in a field. There's been a murder.
Lewis, that's very offensive. I'm looking at.
Oh no.
I'm looking at exploding. Racist.
Rude. I'm saying it with love, I promise.
Yeah, that's what they all say. Exploding head syndrome is a rare parasomnia in which affected persons awaken from their sleep with the sensation of a loud noise. A parasomnia involves undesired events that come along with sleep. Exploding head syndrome. Wait, what?
So is this in humans? It must be. They wake up thinking, like sleep paralysis? I guess so, but their head explodes. That's
the cause
the
of exploding head syndrome is not known. It may occur more often when you are very tired or under stress. Wow.
That makes sense, though, because, well, I mean, that's true of anything. Like when I'm stressed out, I have nightmares every night. Like dreaming you fall and feel like you've fallen when you woke up. Yeah, and you sort of jolt to reality, don't you? And I wiggled my camera around a lot. But yeah, like when I'm stressed out about just like work, then I just have nightmares every night about random shit. It's like, so yeah, I guess if I'm stressed out, maybe my head explodes.
Listen to this, Lewis.
Or I have a dream that my head explodes. Go on.
What are symptoms of exploding head syndrome? You awaken to a sudden loud noise or explosion of your head. Your head explodes.
So it's like you wake up to your head exploding. God. Makes me think of that fungus that like brainwashes ants.
No.
Are you aware of this? Yeah, let me find the name of it, otherwise it's going to annoy me. Ant brain control parasite.
I'd better go now.
I better go now. Rude.
Racist. See you later, doggy.
Dicroquelium dendriticum, or whatever. It's basically it's a little fungus that sort of I think the spores of the fungus are in poo that animals poo out after eating whatever, and then after eating ants that are already infected. Oh, it's cordyceps fungus. That's the one I'm thinking of. And and the ant eats the spores and gets infected, and then it sprouts a mushroom out of its head.
Right.
And it gets mind controlled by the fungus, and it goes up a tree and then jumps off a tree to its death. And then other ants catch the spores from that ant, and it just keeps on going.
God.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're not aware of the classic ant mind control fungus.
Cordyceps safe for humans? It is generally safe, but it may cause stomach nausea, dry mouth in some people.
That's what gets me, because obviously we've got a cat. I think she's on the sofa at the minute. How do I? Is she? No, she's not. She's left. But there's we've obviously got a cat, and so whenever I buy flowers for my wife, I will always Google, is XYZ flower poisonous to cats? Because we got these flowers, Sweet William they were called, and my cat was had some kind of allergic reaction or something to them, like she was sneezing and all sorts. So since then we've been very wary of it. But whenever I Google that, it always says, well, it's not actually toxic to animals. If your cat eats a lot of it, it could throw up. It's like, well, yeah. If my cat eats a lot of bed stuffing, it will throw up. Surely. It's just the strangest thing to me. Oh yeah, eating this mushroom could cause mouth irritation and stomach irritation. Well, yeah, that's the case for eating anything too much.
In your opinion, Lewis, what is the worst disease?
Jesus, I mean, cancer. That's a pretty bad one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to come up with a funny answer?
Yeah, there you are. Well, no, not
right, okay. The common cold?
The one that you think is you would just definitely not want to get.
Nothing springs to mind. What springs to your mind? That is a bit terrifying, actually.
Horrible.
That reminds me, I just read, I listened to the audiobook of A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the Hunger Games prequel book. And there's rabies, surprisingly, is a plot point in that book.
Wow.
During the war between the capital and the districts, the capital got a lot of rabies in it, and then in this Hunger Games, one of the competitors gets rabies, and so they throw bottles of water at him. It's like a whole thing.
Did they call it rabies, or did they call it rabid fever or something like that?
No, they call it rabies. Yeah, although that does annoy me when it's at a post-apocalyptic type book, and they have something that's immediately recognisable to you as a person in the world, and they call it something that's just clearly a bastardisation of the name.
Yeah, The Walking Dead, they call zombies walkers. no one says zombie.
Yes. A fictional world in which the concept of zombies has never existed. George Romero never made Day of the Dead. Somehow. What was I going to say then?
Rabies.
Rabies? Oh, I can't remember. It can't have been a very good thing to say. No, I wouldn't want to catch rabies either. Apparently, the reason that people with rabies are scared of water is because it sort of paralyzes their swallowing muscles. So if you have rabies, you can't swallow anything. So the idea of being confronted with water, which would just sit in your mouth and choke you, is the terror. So that's horrible.
What I do know about rabies is that if it's not treated immediately, death is really likely from it.
Yeah, because you can't drink.
Yeah.
So you'd have to sort of be in hospital forever, which would be horrible. Certainly horrible. No, I wouldn't. No, I don't want rabies. If I can possibly avoid getting bitten by some kind of rabid badger in my lifetime, that would be the goal. If I can navigate until my death of natural causes at 302 without getting bitten by a badger, that'd be ideal.
Absolutely. Any more questions?
I do have a quick question that I was thinking about. In your humble opinion, Danny, what is the best format of potato? As in, would you like a chunky chip from a pub, a curly fry, French fries from Mackey's, or like a waffle fry, which I love a good waffle fry, or mashed potatoes, boiled potatoes, steamed potatoes?
It's a toss-up, right, between two.
Okay.
It's French fries and or my mum's roast potatoes.
Oh, I love a good roast potato. I don't know if you know who J. Kenji Lopez-Alt is. It's a man with a lot of names, which always annoys me because it takes me ages to write it down. But yeah, he's a cook. He works with I forget who he works with, but he's a very accomplished food scientist / cook, and he's written loads of articles about so I'm going to make the ultimate X, and then he goes deep into the science of it, of like, so for this ingredient, should I use vegetable oil or rapeseed oil or this or this or this? And he goes through the options. Chips, nothing beats them. There is something very good about a chip shop chip. It's something sort of intoxicating in a really strange way. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, and he did a roast potato recipe, and I did it sometimes. If I'm just cooking for myself, I will just do a big plate of roast potatoes for my dinner because Chloe doesn't like roast potatoes very much. So I will just make J. Kenji Lopez-Alt's ultimate roast potatoes for dinner, which is fantastic.
They really nice?
It's like they were incredible, utterly incredible. Sort of peeled, chopped, and boiled. And then I forget what he says, but it always makes me laugh. You boil them, and while they're sort of parboiled, you put the lid on the saucepan and just shake the life out of them. And that's the idea, is to get like a very fluffy outside that you then coat with oil that you've flavoured with garlic and rosemary. So then it sort of gets into the cracks and everything. So then as they bake, they're essentially fried on the outside because you've got like a huge surface area to volume ratio because of all the divots and cracks and all the rest of it. And you get this sort of potato goop as well as the potatoes, which is just one of the greatest things known to man. And they're roasted slowly on a low heat, so the inside is soft and light and amazing, and the outside is crispy, flavourful, divine, and you toss them in some Parmesan cheese. It's fantastic, utterly fantastic.
I'm hungry now. We might have to stop, Lewis.
But I agree with you. I love a good roast potato. My problem, though, with chips, chunky chips especially, is the fact that when people describe what they consider to be the ideal chip, they describe a roast potato. True. When they say, well, I want it to be crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. No, that's a roast potato. But like a French fry is skinnier and it's crispy all the way through, really. Maybe a little bit of give in the middle, but it's crisp. Like when you bite a fresh McDonald's fry and it's just crisp and it just disintegrates in your mouth immediately. That's a French fry. That's a chip, not a roast potato. Have you enjoyed a triple cooked chip in your time?
No, I haven't. I'm very
I have.
very simplistic with my chips. I assumed that it was nice.
It was okay. After my GCSE results, my parents and I went for lunch somewhere, and I forget what I had, but it came with these triple cooked chips, and I was like, oh, it's the first time I've ever had them. These will be really, really good, I bet. And then I ate them, and I was like, oh, well, they're all right. It's not much better than a normal chip. I've only had double dipped. What on earth does that mean? Do they fry them, take them out, and then fry them again in the oil? That's quite...
Oh.
I don't know why you would do that. Maybe it's at like different temperatures, so you cook the inside more slowly,
maybe.
and then... Actually, now that I say that, I think I have cooked things like that in the past. Bread and dumplings and stuff. The idea of cooking the inside first, and then giving it a quick, final sort of sizzly cook to get a crispy outside coating. So that's... Okay, I've figured it out, Darius. I've nailed it.
Yeah, because the interior is the most important part. You know, it's if the inside doesn't taste nice, there's no point in having a crispy outside. You know,
And the worst thing about a chip is when the inside of the chip is dry and the outside of the chip is greasy. That combination is terrible. Especially greasy food in general isn't great. There are times when you're hungover or drunk that it's fantastic, but like when you're just eating food for the sake of food, it's just crap. But like the one that gets me is our Chinese. When we have a Chinese, our Chinese does these salt and chili chips that I will have, which are divinely tasty. But occasionally the top few chips will be like dry. I think, how? All the other chips in this batch are moist and wonderful. It usually means they're cooked first earlier in the day. Here we go, Darius. He's helping.
He's helping out.
Cooked first earlier in the day and fried again when people order it. That does make sense because then you'd get the slow cooked deliciousness of a good chip. I like that. I'm very impressed.
Darius. He's gonna steal it.
I am, yeah. Have you seen the? This is my last thing about potatoes. I promise. Have you seen the? I think they're called like 100-hour potatoes or something. No, they look insane and ridiculous. Essentially, it's a potato that someone has peeled and then chopped incredibly finely, like a millefeuille. How the pastry is incredibly thin, like phyllo pastry, and then they press them all into like a loaf tin and sort of wrap them in baking paper and cover with baking paper, and then put heavy things on top to sort of compress
I'm looking
the potato.
at one right now.
And then it's sort of it's like reconstituted or something.
It looks
in some
nice.
way, and they sort of remove as much of the starch as possible, and then it's baked very, very slowly. So then you sort of chop the end off, it's like crispy all the way through, all the layers are. What did I call it? The 100-hour chips?
Just sort of greasy crisps?
Kind of, but they stick together more like a sort of... They stick together as though they're a chip.
Oh,
if that makes sense.
I see.
15-hour potatoes, that's what I'm talking about. They stick together as though they're a chip, but they're sort of multi-layered all the way through, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I know, I fucking love a good potato.
Oh, God, potato. I know, yeah.
Glad we're getting
to
the real issue, finally. Episode
I knew
100.
that we'd end up talking about fucking potatoes. I have a bit of bullshit.
Go on.
You heard about this M&M thing?
The
candy.
I'm aware of them. Have
The
they done
drama
something?
that's coming about with these M&M.
No?
Oh, it's so fucking...
For years, I steered clear of M&Ms because I'm allergic to peanuts. And then they come out with the godsend that is crispy M&Ms that are one of the tastiest things in the universe. So now I love a good crispy M&M. No, tell me the drama.
Okay, so
I want to know.
do you know who Tucker Carlson is?
Tucker Carlson, the Fox News bloke that always looks like he's left the gas on at home.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he always sits there at the desk like.
Well,
it looks like he left the gas on.
He's whining that M&Ms are now less sexy.
Of course he is. Why wouldn't he be? Yeah, I mean, politics is falling to a shambles in America. Democracy itself is in question, and he's complaining about sexy M&Ms.
Exactly.
Of course.
So he's upset. It's like, why wouldn't you want M&Ms to look attractive? It's gonna increase, and it's like because it's trying to make it a bit more inclusive, and maybe it's just because it's a cartoon, and.
It's a cartoon. Sweet.
Yeah, but he's...
Does it matter?
He's raging. And so many people are asking, Tucker, why do you want to fuck an M&M? What is...
No, I know exactly what you mean. It's I mean, the idea of making M&Ms more inclusive is like, it's a great idea, but with a lot of these things, I always think maybe this is a problem we should be solving in about 10 years' time before we've addressed the massive systemic problems.
Yeah.
So after we've addressed them, maybe. But
That's so strange.
For him to pick up on this, because I've not heard a single thing about it. Maybe M&Ms are just less important in the UK.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know, Boris Johnson isn't there complaining about how M&Ms are unsexy. Yeah. Or, well, a right-wing news host, what's he called? Paul Joseph Watson? Is he complaining about this? How M&Ms are no longer sexy?
Right?
He's a British political commentator that's horrendously right-wing.
Watson.
Good old Paul Joseph Watson.
It's over. Yeah, you've been saying that for about 5 years, mate.
What's over? What's he?
He's just. I've no idea what he's saying now. It's a 9-minute video, and it's called "It's Over." I'm gonna listen to it. Okay.
Okay, this is gonna be good, folks. Prepare yourselves.
Okay. So he's talking about Omicron and saying how it's barreling its way through the world and giving mild symptoms, and he's basically downplaying it. Okay.
Right, of course he fucking is. I've found this as well, yeah. The lockdown narrative is crumbling. We were right, and they were on the wrong side of history. What?
He's literally just said that. He's like, it's crumbling. It's like, is it not?
Terrifying psychopath, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just a little weasel. Oh, his videos are so low maintenance, and yet they get like fucking hundreds of thousands of.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he's got such a punchable face as well. That's the thing about Paul Joseph Watson.
Oh, he's just one of these absolute wankers that thinks that Squid Game is capitalist, and it's
of course
it's actually about how bad communism is. It's like, come on, mate, come on, man. I know it doesn't suit your narrative, you know what I mean? And even when the creator of the show says no, it's definitely about how bad capitalism is, it's like, no, it's not. China declares war on simps. What?
I love that his all these. The thing is, I remember when I first started watching H Bomber Guy, I think I sent you a message, Dan, saying, "Is there like a right wing equivalent that I should be looking to for like as a comparison to see, to sort of so I can hear both sides of an argument?" And you said, "Well, what do you mean?" And I said, "Well, is there like a right wing equivalent sort of a channel as H Bomber Guy and people like him that do video essays from a right wing point of view, but also cite evidence?" And you sort of said, No, there's not. Because of course there isn't. Because the closest you have is people like Paul Joseph Watson stringing together nightmare buzzwords like China bans soy boys. It's like, whoa, what does that mean? And then you watch his video and it's just him getting furious for ages. It's bizarre.
The cuck down.
Of course.
Simps. Woketopia.
Oh my god. It's literally just stapling together buzzwords to try and pretend as though he has an argument. It's
World
terrifying.
War cringe. Why the woke establishment hates Joker. You know, I have now realised, right, that the film Joker has been co-opted by these absolute cretins as like I mean, just think about the subtext of that film. It's about a working class man who has extreme mental problems, and they rebel against an incredibly elite and rich establishment. But these absolute weirdos seem to think that no, it's actually about people on the right who have all the power and all the privilege fighting back against the supposed incredibly progressive left-wing version of politics. It's so lame and so weird.
It's very strange, yeah. The thing is, Joker is... We said we'd talk about some of our best memories of the podcast, and I remember recording the episode of the Joker episode is one of my favourite sort of memories from the podcast that of Danny and I recording together. Because we did that sort of, it was quite late at night, I seem to remember, because I think it was either Danny or I had gone to the cinema to see it, and we recorded it immediately thereafter. And it was sort of nighttime, and Chloe was sat like at the back of the room, and I was at the desk, and it was just, I had a really shit day, and it was just like a really enjoyable moment to sort of like, it was just have like a nice chat, and it was just pleasant. I think that sort of, I don't know if it comes across in the final episode, because it was so long since we recorded it now, but I just remember sort of being so happy after that episode. So it's depressing, at the very least, to see Joker co-opted by right-wing psychopaths.
I guess we edgy incel boys have been using the Joker for years. I am chaos. I am the Joker. That's just
like when
it's their compulsive need to be seen as like outside the system, but still living in their parents' 5-bedroom house in Surrey, and going to brunch. So it's like it's. I mean, it's the whole point of the character. It's like he is a symbol for discontent wherever it is, and the consequences of that and the hypocrisy that people have. So it's...
And now that I think about it out loud, the Joker has gone on record several times of being very against Nazi ideology.
Yeah.
There was that crossover comic. Have you heard of this? Where he was... the Joker and Red Skull sort of teamed up.
And he betrayed him.
And he betrayed him, because he said, "You're actually a Nazi." Well, I thought that was just a bit that you were doing. Well, I might be a criminal lunatic, but I'm an American criminal lunatic, and then he betrays him. It's like, I'm not signing him a Nazi, for God's sake.
I mean, who was it that used it? It was a revolutionary socialist movement in one of the Southern American countries used the Joker's image, the Joaquin Phoenix version, in their sort of struggle. So it was like, that's the whole point of the character. It's not... He doesn't give a shit whether you would, ban abortion or vote for Ronald Reagan. He only... It's all of discontent and all bitterness and all hypocrisy rolled up into one person who is making fun of you and all of your, It's... Oh, man. It's so silly.
No, you're right. So have we got a couple more best memories? Are we time for that?
Yeah, of course we do.
Sauce.
Let me
awesome.
I've got my notes here. Not that page. Oh, hey. What is your favourite episode of the podcast?
Well, I think I just answered that.
That was your
Joker.
favourite?
It's got to be the Joker episode. It's my favourite to record, certainly. I just remember, like I say, I'd had a really shit day, and then I went up to the office and recorded it. And I just remember just being stupid about Joker and the ridiculousness of it all, and thinking, this was a really good film. I really enjoyed it, and it was like, it just made me feel a lot better in that moment, and I did really, really enjoy that. So I would have to say Joker, which I think was episode 5, or it was something. It was some very, very early episode.
I think so.
What about for you? What was your favourite episode?
The 50-question quiz.
Yeah, I enjoyed the quiz. That was good.
What was her name?
Betsy Ross.
Fucking Betsy Ross.
Because I genuinely thought you'd know that, because it's like I know it. It's I know I do find flags interesting, so I do know a bit about flags. But I just thought, you studied history, you must know a little bit about this. So, no, I genuinely was completely I'll know this 100%. I remember Darius said at the time, "Well, I knew it, but I do pub quizzes." And I was like, okay.
Well, you got the easiest questions. You got what?
I did somehow.
What animal looks like a horse but is black and white? Oh, a koala.
Yeah.
What that?
It's a coatamundi.
It's a snow hen. It's a platinum seahorse.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. What else? What else have we got? What is your favourite series? Whisper series that we've talked about?
I'm going to be honest. I enjoyed Better Call Saul more than I thought I would. I went into it thinking, it's going to be all right. Breaking Bad was good. This will probably be good. I didn't have too strong an opinion of it either way. And then I watched it for the show, and I really enjoyed it. Really got hooked. And I looked forward to it every week. The idea of downloading the episode or watching it on Netflix or wherever I found it. I don't remember now. And I just remember I was so incredibly excited, and it was just to watch Mike smashing up a windowsill or whatever he was doing, where he replaced that windowsill, and I was like, oh my god, yes, Mike, he's replacing a windowsill. Darius has just put his favourite artwork in the group chat. That's a good one. Yeah, it's our 40th episode, celebrating by having a load of guests on. We rant about things that really frustrate us, and as always, we get frustratingly off topic. Yeah, and it's like a sort of a wheel of bullshit with Danny and I in the centre, and with the majority of the films we've done at that moment all around the outside. I think it might have been Darius that made that. Was it you that made that?
I think it was Darius that made it.
Because it is good. Oh, Darius is typing.
Very good.
We'll know soon. Yes, it is very good. No, I really
do
like
as well. It's ideal. I like it.
Go on, so whatever question you ask me, ask yourself.
Oh yeah, Better Call Saul, I would have to say, because it's my favourite TV show. You know, getting to talk about it and what it all means and the subtext of it is just... It's amazing. It's amazing, Lewis.
I did really enjoy the Game of Thrones episode as well.
Yeah.
I know
even though you didn't watch it.
Obviously, even though I didn't watch it, no. But I remember coming away from it afterwards thinking that we'd had an interesting conversation about what it means to make good fantasy material. And I remember thinking that was good and something I really enjoyed. And it does, even now, I think about Game of Thrones, and I still listen to that particular podcast. So it does put me in the mind of that, and I do think about it sometimes. And I think it was a good episode, let alone to say I really enjoyed it, the actual episode itself, recording, and I really enjoyed that one. One thing, as I was writing down a couple of my best memories here, I've written drunk wee. Wee as in the console, not piss. But yeah, when it was the first, I think it was for episode 20 when we did Mother. Oh, yeah. That film with Jennifer Lawrence and... That's the one, Javier Bardem. And we watched the movie and it was all right. And then we had a couple of drinks and we had some food and we kept drinking and kept drinking and kept drinking. And I was pissed. I was gone. Danny and Chloe were sort of sensibly drunk and I was really fucking smashed. And but yeah, I've got this video on my phone of Danny singing a Tim Minchin song and dancing around my living room on a rug, playing Wii bowling at the same time. And it's just like, I just remember, it was just such a good moment. And I think that's what I've really treasured from the process of making the podcast.
I mean, the meeting up has always been the sort of clincher of you know, it's like you do a certain amount of podcasts and then you get to meet up and you get to do an interview and you get to, you know, just enjoy it. Let most podcast makers probably take for granted, you know, whereas they can just sit in their studio like fucking Joe Rogan and
good old Joe Rogan and his unique take on the world.
Second time I went down when you'd moved into your new house, I remember getting Subway and I was like, oh my god, the food here is amazing. Because I'd never had Subway before.
I remember you saying that. I was like, yeah, I've never had Subway. And I was like, what? How have you got through 20 years of life and never had Subway? Because I love a good Subway, yeah. But I was just really astonished at the time. Because when we were doing 4 O'Clock Club, it was something that I had quite regularly. Because somehow we always stayed in hotels and apartments and stuff that were near to a Subway. And I was like, well, work a pay and I'll go to have a sandwich.
We had your famous 5 cheese pasta.
Yes, my famous 5 cheese... Yeah, so much cheese that my brain stopped working.
What else? We had the Domino's, I think. Oh, we were fucking unhealthy, but I loved every minute of it.
We had... we ordered from Roberto's, a spectacular Italian restaurant in my city, which I still order from nowadays. It's really, really good food. We had that. I remember it was just very, very good. Yeah. The coming down and meeting up is always quite nice. I remember I had a strange vision of the future when you first came down that second time, and we gave you sort of the quick tour of the house and said, "Oh, this is this and this is this," and we all at one point we were all stood in the bathroom, and I was just like, "I hope I don't get so drunk again as I did last time that I'm just sat on the toilet vomiting or something." I suppose sat on the toilet vomiting, I'd be vomiting onto a cupboard, which would certainly not be a good way to do it. But yeah, no, I remember saying at the time, I hope this is the last time that all 3 of us are in here at the same time, because I just was terrified that it would come to pass, that it would not be the last time.
One at a time in here, please. Let's just keep that.
We're putting a turnstile on the door. Yeah. I don't know if you remember the synchronized Harry Potter references.
Oh, but of course he is lying.
Yeah. Yes, that off the end of was it the Love Actually episode?
Yes,
we were just talking shit about Love Actually, and Chloe was with us, and started just recounting that scene from the Goblet of Fire where Madame Maxime just smacks that lamp out of the way, and But of course
Did you
he's
ever
lying.
see? Did you ever see the? It's a TikTok of Lego Harry Potter, and it's a reading of Stephen Fry going, "Did you put your name into the goblet of fire, Harry?" Dumbledore asked calmly, and then the other bit is, "Harry, did you put your name in that goblet of fire?" And he grabs Harry, fucking slam dunks him into the
It
ground.
always gets me when he grabs him, by the lapels of his uniform, sort of thing. Because I remember somebody overlaid that text onto a GIF of what's his name, Richard Harris in one of the first movies, just saying, "Harry, did you put your name into the goblet of fire?" Yeah, it was just like a much more calm, relaxed thing. I was like, that's Dumbledore.
Put your name in that goblet of fire.
That's funny.
Oh God.
What is your favourite nugget of bullshit that we did?
Oh, that's a question. It would have to be my rant about tax. I was so furious in that moment, and I just hadn't got it out. And I was just sort of sitting there screaming about how HMRC wouldn't let me log into their website, and I was just utterly furious. What about you?
My favourite one was one that you did, and it was I'm just trying to find it. Oh no, that's BS segments. I want nuggets of bullshit.
Go on, Dan. You can do it. What was I talking about?
The tax one.
No. I'm asking what was I talking about in the bullshit that you are describing.
It wasn't. You weren't talking about anything. It was nuggets of bullshit. Go away. And it was. You didn't have time to make one that week, and you just shoved a broom at the camera and was like, "Go away! You're annoying me."
Yeah, that was good. It's I was really busy. The stupid thing was, because I literally had food in the oven as I was recording that, because I was with the day job stuff. I had somebody reach out and say, can you make all these recipes, make them, photograph them, write them up, all the rest of it, which is something I do. So fine, obviously I will. But it took fucking ages. So I was just stood in the kitchen typing and taking photographs and typing and doing all the rest of it. And I was like, oh God, I've got to do the nugget of bullshit. And I just looked across the room and I was like, there's a mop there. I've got my camera set up already. Let's quickly slam something out really quickly and I can upload it in the next hour. That'll be fine. Go away. That was, I quite enjoyed that one.
So did I.
Have you got any more earth-shattering questions for one? The tax one is hilarious. Thank you very much, Darius.
I want to know, what was your favourite hillock that we did? Out of 3.
I'm not entirely sure. Out of 3, because there was the video games one, which I did enjoy. There was the Doctor Who one, and what was the third one?
Rom-com.
Rom-com. I didn't enjoy the rom-com one as much. I remember recording that because I'd ordered an Indian as I was just before I sat down to record that, and then it came as I was halfway through a take. So I sort of had to stop recording, put it on the counter in the kitchen, and then go back upstairs and finish recording. And I was very aware of the fact that my food was going cold. I enjoyed the Doctor Who one because it made me confront the fact that I actually quite liked that episode of Doctor Who, and it sort of made me think, well, I can't complain about Stephen Moffat too much. And I don't know. I suppose I probably did like the video game one about as much because I do adore Stardew Valley. Although I think if I was doing it again, I would do Excite Truck, the Wii game. If I told you, we played it together, didn't we? When you came down.
Is that the one with the golfing and all that?
No. It's the Monster Truck one.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right. Oh, I was terrible at that.
It's a game where you race monster trucks around a track. It's very, very simplistic, but the controls are so incredibly sensitive, like absurdly so. And there's power-ups, and the landscape shifts slightly if you drive in certain ways, and you get bonuses from driving in different ways. And it's so many layers of complexity on top of a basic driving game. It's such a good game that I can't even possibly remember now. But yeah, if I was doing it again, that's what I'd do. What about you? What was your favourite hillock?
It's a mix between the video game one and the Doctor Who one. I think I'm gonna have to go with the video game one because that one took me fucking ages to do, and I was very
How come?
I don't know. It just took me a while, and I think in terms of showmanship, I was quite proud of that one. It took me so see you get that opening credit sequence for Fallout New Vegas. It took me so fucking long to get that. It took me hours.
No, I remember being quite proud of not the showmanship, but the editing on that one.
Oh, thank you.
No,
I
meant my
thank you.
editing.
I appreciate it.
But no, it's something I've always enjoyed, is video editing. I don't do it a lot because I just don't have much of a reason to, but I have always enjoyed it. And I remember downloading screenshots and playing the game to find a specific bit, thinking, right, okay, so now I know the name of the building, I can go online and see if anybody's completed this level so that I can do this and do that. And I remember it was sort of a pleasant hassle, I suppose, would be the way I'd describe it. A pleasant hassle, and I did really enjoy it, and it was quite nice. So yeah, I did enjoy that episode.
No, that was
good.
A good episode.
I think I'm out of my little list here, but have you got any more of your questions?
Did you have a favourite interview that we did?
Oh, I must have done, mustn't I? I enjoyed speaking with Kirsty.
Yeah,
that was very, very
fun.
good. Because she was really interesting to talk to. I think in terms of enjoyment, the Dork Wars guy, probably. When we talked about... that still sticks in my mind. When you said, wouldn't it be so cool to get mugged by a guy with a lightsaber? And I just remember thinking, what an insane thing to say. In your fantasy dream world, you're getting mugged by a guy with a massive lightsaber. It's just insane. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one. They're really great guys. We recorded one for us and one for them. That I really, really enjoyed both of them. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one. What about you?
I would have to say Dork Wars. I really enjoyed speaking with Kirsty. Kirsty was up there. I'm going to get them up because I can't remember exactly all of them. Let me see.
Go on then.
Get off that.
There we go. Podcast. Do you reckon I can search by the word interview? That would be very handy if I could. I suppose it'll be on YouTube. No, I can't.
Interviews.
It'll be on
Maxime,
YouTube.
that one was a bit weird. Because Maxime didn't wear headphones, did he, for that one?
No, so I had to go back through it and edit out all of our speech on his recording, which was very strange and difficult. I remember I looked at the file when I downloaded it and I went, oh,
yeah.
And I was like really sort of quite upset. And Chloe was just like, oh, and went and got me a beer and was just like, thanks, honey.
I mean, you can tell that we really like the Dork Wars because we spoke for like an hour compared to every other one that was like 15 minutes, half an hour.
A bit shorter, about half an hour. I really enjoyed, I really enjoyed the Dorking one. The Dork Wars one. I enjoyed speaking with Kez. That was quite enjoyable because she's like just a nice person. She's just nice to talk to.
Hector's one was good.
Hector's one was good. I remember listening to his music just before we started recording because I'd forgotten that I had to listen to his music. So I was like, oh shit, and I looked him up on Spotify and I listened to his songs and I was like, right, okay, yeah, now I know what is going on. Now I understand.
Darius, since you're the only patron here, I want to know your favourite episode of the entire show. Can be Whisper, can be Void, can be
it's a tall
anything.
order. Come on, Darius, don't let us down, bud.
And why? I want to know why.
If he just doesn't reply now, that'll be hilarious.
He just leaves.
What's your favourite episode? No, just leaves. He's typing.
Hey, boy.
Oh, it's going on. It's all going on.
It's all good,
Let
man.
me move this so I can actually read it. We shouldn't have talked about chips and roast potatoes earlier because now I'm starving.
I'm really hungry as well.
I don't even know what I'm going to make for dinner. I'm going to have to try and find... We don't have any potatoes in, but I'm going to have to try and find a way to make some chips. There's a chip shop around the corner. They might be open for lunch. Who knows?
I think they will be.
I don't know. Maybe Power of the Daleks and Series 12 opener episode. I don't remember.
Is that the one?
Series 12
Is that
opener.
the Spyfall one?
Yeah, with Lenny Henry in it.
Did we talk about Power?
Yes.
Did we talk about Power of the Daleks? I'm sure I did in the Hillock, but we talked about. I'm sure in an actual episode we talked about Genesis. of the Daleks for a whisper one time.
Yes, I remember that. We did Genesis of the
Yeah.
Daleks, yeah. I don't know, but yes, I do enjoy the Doctor Who episodes we've done. I think there's something nice about just talking about just Doctor Who for
'Cause
so bloody
it
long.
feels familiar, even though you can say new stuff. Just wait.
Oh, Darius is typing. Come on, Darius. I believe in you, bud.
Lewis, did you say...
Lewis, did you sell me?
We're waiting.
I did not sell my
We're waiting
fridge.
to hear about whether we did Power of the Dat, and he's like, Lewis, did you sell your fridge? On a side note. Oh man, that's funny.
No, I did not sell my fridge. A guy from a charity shop is coming to get it, and a load of other stuff. So if anybody out there is wondering about my fridge, it will soon be in a charity shop. Because a guy with a van will come and get it, and that's just so much more convenient than selling it. I think I'm out of notes now for the last time.
Yeah, I think I'm out of notes as well. Do you have a closing statement, bud? The last closing statement?
I do have a closing statement that I'm going to make up immediately. I very much enjoyed doing all 100 of these episodes with you. Well, I suppose more than 100 if you count all the whispers and all the episodes on YouTube and all sorts. I've very much enjoyed all of it. I've learned a lot, and I look forward to continuing it myself and seeing what comes next, and boosting things and being interesting and fascinating.
Absolutely.
Have we got a closing statement?
In the beginning, God created... No. It's been an absolute pleasure being on the podcast for so long. I've enjoyed recording and filming every episode, and I'm going to miss the hell out of it. Thank you to you, Lewis, and everyone that has supported us all this time. And
yes, thank you very much to all of our supporters. It really does mean the world.
And best of luck with carrying it on yourself, carrying the torch,
Thank you.
Carrying the cross.
We're going to go crazy. We've got format changes. We've got all sorts going on. Just you wait until you see my elaborate plans.
I might become a patron now. I might actually just become a fan. But seriously, folks, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to do this for so long, and lots of love as usual.
Yes, thank you very much, one and all. It really does mean the world. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Should we give another quick shout out to our patrons just before we go?
Yeah, go on then. They deserve it. They're all good eggs.
I'll replace Danny.
Darius,
well,
will replace
it's good.
Danny.
It's good. It's good to know that Darius is sentimental. Already scouring for a new job. We would like to thank, as we do every week, to thank our wonderful, wonderful patrons. Chloe, Darius, Peter,
thank you,
Aditya,
thank you,
Natalie,
thank you,
and Dougie.
Thank you. Thank you, one and all. It means the world that you support us and have supported us for 100 episodes now. It really does mean the world. So thank you so much. It's incredibly kind of you, and you've enabled all of these episodes. If nobody was listening, if nobody was patronizing us, if nobody was supporting us, then we wouldn't have even gotten a tenth of the way here. So it does mean the world. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, Lewis, it is time.
Yeah.
To say ta-ra, farewell, auf Wiedersehen.
Indeed.
Indeed.
I'll just get my phone out now and I'll block you on every social network.
Well, bud, it's been quite a ride. Thank you for
Indeed
everything.
It has.
And I'll see
Thank
you on the flip side.
Indeed. See you on the flip side.
Goodbye!
Goodbye! Thank you very much for listening.